Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to the AI Cafe conversations where we brew the richest flavors of technology and society. I am Sahar, your AI whisperer, your host, ready to guide you through another fascinating topic at the intersection of artificial intelligence and human ingenuity. Today, we are venturing into the art studio, the music lab, and the writer's desk to discover how AI is partnering with human creativity to craft new forms of art. So grab your cup of inspiration. Today, it's espresso for me, bold and innovative. But before we go through that, as usual, and in the beginning of every single episode of my podcast, I usually like to share with you the newest elements or the newest news that are in the market right now for AI. The first thing is that, again, it always comes up. I know that AI is going to replace jobs, but actually, there are parts of jobs that have been um, replaced by AI. So there exist multiple truths around it. So AI is not yet replacing millions of jobs in mass, but is AI is doing the repetitive tasks of people. So it's replacing tasks in different job, not their entire jobs for still people. Because guess why? We still need humans in the loop. AI is good to do parts of people jobs really well, like handling customer support inquiries, like entering data, like CRM. So it again, it's little tasks and not the whole job. The other big news is Meta is going to be part of. No, let me rephrase that. I don't want to give you the big news right away. So I shared last week that Apple is actually going to use OpenAI so they can be the newest version of Siri. Uh, but also the new news this week is that Apple, and we talked about Apple Intelligence last week, which is AI, smart, 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 right? So they're not going to be launching Apple Intelligence in the European Union anytime soon because there are few things going on with the EU regulations. So they are trying to kind of make sure that they are doing the right thing, if you want to call it. Um, but Apple also and Meta are in talks to integrate Meta's generative AI into Apple's recently developed AI systems for iPhones. And why Apple is doing that? Because I guess they want to share or they want to make sure that they are diversifying the risks. So they are contracting with multiple AI companies. Yes, ChatGPT is going to be doing their Siri, but they are, for example, looking at not only Meta, but at Anthropic, that is the parent company of Claude, Perplexity, to enhance their Apple intelligence that they just announced in their conference last week. And they're going to have premium subscriptions because of that. They also are making sure that they are offering the best for the iPhone. And I can't wait till the new version of Siri that is powered by ChatGPT will be working so I can use it and I will share my experience with you. The other big news is that NVIDIA, that today went actually their stocks went a little bit down, where last week they were really, really up. They just signed a deal in the Middle East, specifically with the country of Qatari Telecoms, and it's going to be the first company in the region uh, to allow access to NVIDIA AI and graphic processing technology. One of the biggest news this week is that Anthropic released its newest model of Claude, Claude Sonnet, or Claude Sonnet, if you want to say it in French, 3.5. And according to a lot of reports and benchmarks, it's better than any other chatbot, including ChatGPT 4.0. So they say it's two times faster than the Claude 3 Opus that was the previous um, version that they had, and they are actually benchmarks um, that they have made make sure that they compared it, like I said, with its biggest competition of ChatGPT 4.0. The first impressions is that Claude Sonnet 3.5 is a lot faster than ChatGPT 4.0, and it also seems to just get what people are looking for. It writes strongly or stronger than ChatGPT. They have more human-like, concise, and creative way of writing. I'm honestly very happy with ChatGPT too, but just in case, I'm going to try it as well. It said that it also, some of the software engineers say that it can solve issues that ChatGPT 4.0 can't, and it's also better at handling larger documents. This is awesome. Like if we want to compare, but honestly, when I'm trying to research something, I use few of them together. So I use Gemini, I use Copilot, I use Claude, I use Perplexity for resources, and I use, of course, my favorite, Chat GPT. The only difference with ChatGPT is that it's missing some stuff that ChatGPT has, Claude doesn't have. Like ChatGPT has an image generator, Claude Sonnet doesn't. The voice mode, Claude Sonnet doesn't. And memory or custom instructions, it doesn't, as well as the GPTs. So these are all new things that just happened this week. Like usually I share a couple of tools with you. One of the ones that I really like is Quillbot, and it's an AI writing company. You can a companion. You can actually add it when you do your prompts on ChatGPT, and it will correct your grammar and your typos. I like it a lot better than Grammarly because Grammarly is somehow clunky and heavy and it doesn't correct it for you, versus Quillbot corrects it for you. It has a free version that is limited, but it also has a paid one. Lately is actually a neuroscience AI tool that can help you with your brand voice. It gets to know who you are and learn who you are, and it can create social contents from your audience. And I'm going to give credit to where I had this. It's actually from AI Tool Report. These are a couple of tools. The other thing that I want to share before I go into our episode today is that remember that are still few challenges with using ChatGPT or using AI, that it doesn't have a consciousness or different perspectives. It doesn't do future predictions. It doesn't have probability of future. It's not very personalized in every industry, though it's becoming better by the day. It has bias, so we always I'm keep doing saying that, so please be careful of that. Sometimes it uses ambiguous wording, so make sure it doesn't have that. It doesn't know emotional understanding or empathy, but you can train it actually on empathy. It has lack of common sense. It cannot do multiple modalities at the time. Tokens is somehow amount of data, especially on the free version, is limiting, and sometimes it keeps repeating its information. So the best advice I can give you is when you start in prompt is to assign a role for ChatGPT, like as my branding expert and SEO advisor, as my marketing consultant that specializes in leadership, as my video script writer with awards from Emmy Awards or whatever. So you need to always give it a way, or give it like a function that it understands what it can do for you. So back to the episode today, and we're going to talk about our studios, music labs, and all that. So imagine walking into a gallery not filled just with paintings by human artists, but also with works created in collaboration with AI. These are not just random swirls of color, but thoughtful compositions where AI algorithms analyze historical art pattern and suggest new forms, which artists then bring to life. This blending of AI and art is not replacing artists. Again, not replacing artists. It's empowering them with new tools and perspective, much like how a barista uses a high-tech espresso machine to enhance their craft. Again, AI is not going to replace jobs. People with AI skills are going to replace these jobs. It's just taking care of the tasks of the jobs that are repetitive, at least till now, for those skeptical. So let's step into the music studio. Here, AI is like a new genre of music. Musicians and composers are using AI to experiment with sounds and rhythm that were once impossible or unimaginable. But I also want to let you know that a lot of artists and Sony studios have sent letters complaining to ChatGPT on their copyrights and their intellectual property. So it's important always, I try, maybe because I'm a Libra, I try to look at both sides, but we also need to have a balance in whatever we do. AI algorithms can now analyze vast database of music to generate unique compositions. The artist then tweaks and adds a personal touch, crafting something entirely new. Perhaps a symphony that includes not just traditional instruments, but digitally created sounds that resonate with today's tech-savvy listeners. Now, moving onward, imagine a writer struggling with writer's block. Enter AI, not as a replacement, but as a muse and assistant. By feeding it themes, styles, or even half finished stories, writers can use AI to suggest plot twists, dialogues, or even character developments, much like a barista experimenting with different blends to create a perfect new coffee flavor. But what does that all mean for the future of creativity, you might ask? Some fear that AI might dilute the purity of art, making it less human. Yet, isn't art always evolving? Just as coffee culture has embraced new technology to bring us novel experiences, from cold brew into nitro coffee, perhaps it's time our artistic expressions do the same. As we ponder this, let's also consider the ethics and applications. How do we credit art created with AI? What rights do machines have over their creations, if any? There are not just philosophical questions, but practical ones, impacting copyrights, ownership, and the essence of creative expression. Again, we will always, at least in this podcast, look at both sides. So, as we finish our cups today, let's think about how AI could influence or enhance our own creative pursuits. Whether you are an artist, a musician, a writer, or simply an appreciator of culture, AI might just be the unexpected collaborator you need to discover new horizons. Thank you for joining today's creative exploration at AI Cafe Conversations. Don't forget to subscribe and share your thoughts on how you view AI's role in the future of art. Until next time, keep your coffee creative and your thoughts innovative. This is Sahar, your AI whisperer. Till we meet again, stay safe.
1,